So, I'm here to talk about Far Cry 6 and do a live commentary review of this game. Because I've played it for over 15 hours. And this game has just broke me. It's completely broke me. I'll get to more of that in a minute. But
The camp ignores me, so I've just been observing. Everyone is trying to take down Jose Castillo. But they are not working together or thinking ahead. I know that Singao Jose. To take him down, you have to take back the skies. Destroy his anti-aircraft cannons, and he cannot shoot you down. Disable his radar bunker, and he won't be able to track you in his airspace. Offering some strategy is all I can do for you and these people. For Papa. Gracias, Danny. Gracias. Good luck.
my god, this game is an absolute snooze fest. I have never been as bored playing a first-person shooter as I have with Far Cry 6. This is coming from someone that absolutely loved Far Cry 2, loved Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, and enjoyed Far Cry 5. You know, I didn't like New Dawn, and I'm not going to get into spin-offs, but the mainline series, I have played the living shit out of all of them. And this game, not only bad in my opinion, it's just, it takes the tiresome Ubisoft formula of just, let's make a gigantic open world and just fill it with content that just lacks complete substance. And I'm just tired of it, man. I am absolutely tired of the Ubisoft formula. Games in general that do this. I'm glad Ubisoft still makes single-player games. But they're transitioning these games into a service. And that's just not what a single-player game is at the end of the day. You know? Let's talk about what I like about this game. The gunplay works well enough. The graphics on the next generation of consoles, well enough. Not the best graphics I've ever seen, but it's a good-looking game overall, I'd say. Kind of a downgrade from Valhalla. Another Ubisoft title, obviously. The gun customization is more robust. The new, like, Amigo system, I think is cool. Other than that, this game really doesn't have much going for it. Oh, the Supremo, I guess, is like your ultimate attack. They have it now. Is alright. But one thing I hate about this game. I'm starting off here. The gear system. Not from the RPG elements, but the fact is that your skill points are tied to gear now. Instead of a skill tree. I feel like that sense of progression isn't there. I mean, you can argue that the progression is by exploring the world and finding these items just hidden all about. Okay, but doing so, it's just boring. The game really is just boring.
What do you got?
Over here! Guerrilla. Got word from a deserter about a new checkpoint. Show them they can control us.
Thanks.
And they took this from Far Cry 5, where you talk to someone and get the quest, you know, whatever. I'm fine with that. That's not a big deal in the game. Everything else, I don't know, man. The story is very, like, let me say this. Giancarlo Esposito does his best, but he's not in the game much.
Better be careful.
You know? He's just like Joseph Seed and Pagan Min. These guys that should be huge in the story really aren't in it all that much. A very, very small percentage of the game, they are included. It's like with Far Cry, what, 4? They just couldn't give Troy Baker enough paycheck or write enough lines, and then, God, I can't remember who played Joseph Seed in Far Cry 5, but it wasn't enough of that, and then you get one of the biggest names in television history, Giancarlo, and they're doing the same thing with him. When he's in the game, he steals the scene. But is he a typecast? This game, he kind of gives me a little bit of a Voss slash Gus Fring vibe. Maybe more Pagan Min. You've definitely seen this before. It's nothing you haven't seen. But I will praise his performance. Diego is okay too, I guess. Overall, the story is not that good. I mean, I'm gonna praise Ubisoft for having the ability to choose what gender you want to play as, and how they're fully voiced protagonists as well. You know what? I will give the game 100% props for that. Alright? You will not catch me arguing about that decision. I thought it was a pretty damn good one. Downey just doesn't really have any character development. Granted, it is better than Far Cry 5, because your character doesn't talk. But, you know, I felt like there was some, like Jason Brody, oh my god, what a great protagonist he was. At least in the beginning. He was a little girl, obviously. You know, he was scared. But he turns into a badass that enjoys killing. Like, just excellent writing in that game. This game, while Donnie is charismatic, he or she, I'm gonna refer to him as he because I'm playing as a male, he isn't, just, there's no development. That's going back to the point, a sense of progression. It doesn't exist in this game. I mean, the side activities are, what are you gonna get out of a Far Cry game? You got your races, you got your treasure hunts. Those are fine. Like, I come to expect those, but there's just no real innovation. I'm glad the game is playable in co-op. Obviously, any game is better with a friend, so I'm glad progression is more thing between worlds in this game. Co-op's cool. I don't think they have a map editor yet. I could be wrong. I have not explored that part. But I'm glad the game is fully co-op, as was the last couple games. Anything else? I think I've pretty much nailed home with everything I wanted to say about this game. there's very little enjoyment in it. I definitely recommend playing the game in co-op. The game goes up a point, probably, just for playing it in co-op. But I'm going to rate this as a single-player game and add an extra point for the co-op. This game... it gets the tough love. It's a 5. I want to give it a 4, but it does just enough to get that extra point. To bring it up. And the game becomes a 6 in co-op. You will find way more enjoyment with a buddy. So, that's my thoughts. My rant. Let me know what you guys think about Far Cry 6. And I will see you in the next video.